You know when you watch a movie and it just feels good? It gives you them nice warm and fuzzies and pushes the worries of the world out of your mind? This is not one of those movies. But is it still worth your time? Let's talk about it. Hey, thanks for being here. I'm excited to bring you another movie review today and many, many more to come in the future. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can watch all of my future reviews. And don't forget to like this video. Worth is directed by Sarah Colangelo and is the latest production from the Obama production company Higher Ground, which I just covered in another video, and you can see the link to that right up there. And this movie is starring Michael Keaton, Stanley Tucci, and Amy Ryan. Worth is the story of a DC lawyer named Ken Feinberg who was appointed special master of the 9/11 fund. We watch as he fights off cynicism, bureaucracy, and politics associated with administering government funds, and in doing so, discovers what life is worth. So this movie has a lot going for it, and the thing that stood out most to me were the performances by these actors. Michael Keaton was superb in this movie, as he generally is, but I feel like his performance in this movie could go down as one of his better performances in his career. Stanley Tucci and Amy Ryan were also great, although I always struggle with Amy Ryan because I just can't stop seeing her as Holly from The Office. I personally really struggled with this story. It is a story full of emotion, and that's generally good, but this is not necessarily the emotion that I think we need in our lives right now. At least it's not the emotion I need in my life right now. We're all going through and dealing with some pretty unfortunate circumstances in the world. I just personally don't have the emotional capacity to watch a whole lot of movies with this level of sadness and hopelessness. And this story does kind of end on a bit of a positive note, but I still left it in a bit of a funk. All that said, this story is an important one, and I think it's one that needs to be told. And this movie does a good job of telling that story. However, Worth did struggle with pacing, predictable plot points, and some questionable cinematography at times. I remember going back and forth between, man, this was beautifully shot, and why did they choose to shoot this scene like that? For example, there's one scene with Michael Keaton that's shot close up, and there's some really intense depth of field. Because of this, there's a very narrow field Michael Keaton has to stay in to remain in focus. However, he's leaning back and forth as he's talking, and his face just keeps going in and out of focus, and it just felt really weird and sloppy to see that alongside with what I had considered to be really well done and really beautiful shots at other parts throughout the movie. Another downside I recognize, Michael Keaton's character Ken Feinberg has a very predictable character arc. It's incredibly unlikely that you're not going to know how this character is going to progress throughout the film. Not that big of a deal, it was just something I recognized. All in all, this isn't a fantastic movie by any means. I'd certainly consider it a decent watch and could even be considered really good with the right audience, with people like my mom who enjoy stories centered around legal matters. So for me, this movie falls comfortably in the 3-star rating, which is where I tend to place movies that didn't feel like a waste of time but didn't feel extraordinarily special to me. And I would absolutely say if you've got nothing else to watch this weekend, it's worth, see what I did there, checking out. All right, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you all for being here. We'll catch you in the next one.